In the complex grid of esoteric architecture where intent meets vibration, there are very few lucky charms. Most of what you are sold in trendy spiritual boutiques are passive, beautiful ornaments that do absolutely nothing for your reality management. But today, we are dismantling the velvet rope and analyzing a material that is neither passive nor gentle. We are looking at rutilated quartz, the precise high-voltage antenna of the mineral world. If you step away from the comforting whispers of New Age sentimentality and analyze the hard physics of this stone, you are forced to confront an uncomfortable truth. Rutilated quartz does not bring you money. It does not bring you love. It does not magically erase your weaknesses. Instead, it behaves as a sophisticated, high-frequency antenna amplifier. It creates a powerful, localized field that aggressively catches whatever raw mental signal you are broadcasting and projects it with devastating, coherent force directly into the material matrix of your reality. If your signal is weak, fragmented, and broken, rutilated quartz will amplify that fragmentation, shattering your focus. If your signal is sharp, coherent, and powered by unwavering willpower, this stone can collapse the probability fields of manifestation with breathtaking speed. It is a premium asset for the experienced reality architect, but it is a psychological DEET trap for the fragmented and the fearful. We will not be discussing common superstitions or ancient myths here. We will execute a strict, respectful structural audit of this unique architecture. We will analyze the different spectral frequencies of rutilated quartz, the exact physics of their influence on the human nervous system, the raw, real-world constraints of their application, and, crucially, the necessary boundaries and prerequisites for engaging with this high-stakes technology. If you are a serious practitioner or an independent mind seeking structured, raw knowledge that builds directly upon the foundational principles we established in our breakdowns of moldavite, labradorite, and obsidian, then make sure you are subscribed to this broadcast. If this is your first time encountering the esoteric architect, understand that we operate on a strict sequential blueprint. Subscribe, anchor your intent, and let us dissect the gears of the mineral world's most powerful amplifier. Let us analyze the internal mechanics of rutilated quartz. This material is not a single monolithic tool. It is a flexible, modular platform engineered with different configurations and energetic payloads based on the specific mineral inclusion. At its core, you have a quartz matrix, clear, high-purity crystalline structure. Quartz itself is a clean slate, a passive amplifier that increases the signal of whatever frequency it is exposed to. But embedded within this pristine environment, you have needles, or rutile inclusions. These rutile fibers are not random flaws. They are high-integrity crystalline forms of titanium dioxide. Titanium dioxide is a material with a high refractive index and powerful semiconductor properties. In the language of esoteric architecture, these rutilated needles are physical, crystalline antennas. They are precisely tuned receptors and broadcast towers, waiting for a frequency. The color of these rutilated needles is not aesthetic. It is the spectral code that determines what frequency the antenna is tuned to and how it interacts with the human energy field. First, let us examine gold rutilated quartz, also known as Venus hair quartz. These needles are the color of spun gold, flashing with brilliant metallic sunlight. This is the ultimate antenna for the frequencies of manifestation, willpower, and personal authority. It plugs directly into your solar plexus, the center of your drive, your confidence, and your capability to project your will onto the physical world. This stone doesn't attract wealth. It amplifies the internal, sovereign belief that you can conquer wealth. It is the amplifier of the sovereign king, the relentless conqueror, and the ambitious entrepreneur who knows exactly what they want and possesses the internal power to seize it. Second, let us analyze silver rutilated quartz, sometimes appearing as smoky or dark gray. These antennas do not flash with the aggressive warmth of gold. Instead, They emit a cool, precise, and highly analytical frequency. They are tuned to the mental plane. Silver rutilated quartz does not drive your ambition, it sharpens your vision. It amplifies your capacity for strategic foresight, detached analysis, and profound mathematical focus. This is the premium tool for the strategic planner, the master analyst, and the mind that must navigate massive amounts of data, identify hidden patterns, and remain completely cold and rational during high-stakes corporate maneuvering. Third, we have red rutilated quartz, or copper hair quartz. This frequency is primal, grounded, and intensely potent. It is tuned to the root center and the sacral center, where raw vital force, deep survival instinct, and primal creative fire are generated. It does not provide intellectual focus or grand ambition. It provides the raw, inexhaustible engine power required to execute a vision. It amplifies your physical stamina, your creative intensity, your primal courage, and your capacity to endure immense, protracted pressure while pushing against the inertia of the material matrix. And finally, green rutilated quartz, which is not titanium-based rutile, but is typically inclusions of green actinolite within quartz. This stone is not a simple amplifier. It is a specialized tool of integration, focusing its entire high-frequency current directly on the heart center and the integration of purpose. This frequency is unique and will require its own full architectural audit in a separate broadcast. To understand its precise application, you must first master the principles of systemic closures and boundaries, concepts we will be dissecting in our upcoming video on the real-world case study of the broken shield. Share this broadcast with those who are ready to build a serious foundation, and make sure you subscribe to complete your foundational blueprint. Let us proceed with the hard analysis. Here is the raw, uncompromised constraint that no boutique salesperson will ever disclose to you. If you pick up rutilated quartz because you are broke and terrified of poverty, and you believe this stone will attract money, you have signed a contract for absolute financial and psychological chaos. We must always respect the unyielding laws of esoteric architecture. You cannot build a skyscraper on quicksand. Remember the core mechanic. Rutilated quartz is not a protective shield. It is a raw, high-stakes amplifier antenna. It does not generate intent. It only receives and projects your dominant internal broadcast. The average human mind is a battlefield of unmanaged frequencies. When you approach this powerful mineral amplifier, while your mind is fragmented by fear, self-doubt, immeasurable anxiety about the future, or unresolved inner trauma, you are broadcasting a signal of lack, need, and imminent failure. The high-voltage antenna of the rutilated quartz will catch that fragmented signal and project it into the reality matrix with devastating, laser-like precision. It will amplify your hidden terrors and make them real. If you already feel unstable, fragmented, or lost, engaging with this stone will not provide focus. It will turn that internal instability into an external earthquake, potentially collapsing your existing structures of stability and pushing your nervous system toward a complete sensory overload. Let us look at a concrete case of architectural failure from my practice. I worked with a 38-year-old female tech CEO, sharp, brilliant, and driving a high-growth startup in a hyper-competitive landscape. The pressure was immense. Her company was scaling fast, but her core leadership team was fracturing under the strain, and her initial investors were beginning to apply immense pressure for an exit. In a desperate search for an edge and to manifest the massive Series B funding round that was critical for survival, she disregarded all foundational warnings. Without any established grounding infrastructure, such as we analyzed with labradorite, she began wearing a large, high-purity gold rutilated quartz bracelet every single day, directly over her wrist pulse. She expected it to amplify her executive command. It didn't. What it amplified was the unamaged frequency of her deep-seated imposter syndrome and her mounting terror that she was about to lose everything. The high-voltage golden antenna didn't project victory. It projected catastrophic failure into her board meetings. She became hypervigilant and extremely volatile, misinterpreting strategic advice as betrayal. Her internal tremors were amplified until they shattered her command structure. Under the intensified projected fear, she alienated her lead investors, caused her CTO to resign, and locked her company into a state of operational paralysis, all while convincing herself she was fighting negative external forces. She eventually suffered a complete psychological burnout and was quietly neutralized from her position. This was a tragedy born from treating a sophisticated reality management asset like a common lucky charm. She tried to run a high voltage broadcast through a cracked and fragmented psychological foundation. So, how do we engage with a tool of this magnitude without creating an internal disaster? We must always follow the strict rules of esoteric engineering. First, rutilated quartz must never be your first tool. It is not an introductory asset. Before you even think about holding this stone, you must have established profound psychological grounding and absolute clarity of purpose. If you are still battling unamaged fear or significant emotional fragmentation, you go back to video 2 and master your boundaries with labradorite, and then proceed to video 4 to confront your obsidian mirror. You do not touch rutilated quartz until your foundation is a single, uncompromised block of concrete. Second, engage with this stone only during specific, isolated protocols. Do not wear this asset passively throughout your standard workday, where your mind is constantly shifting between competing agendas and emotional responses. This is a targeted tool. Use it for 15, maybe 20 minutes of pure, unwavering concentration during your deepest manifestation work or strategic planning. Hold the stone. Lock your focus onto a single, clear, high-resolution visual of your desired outcome, and use the rutilated quartz as a voluntary amplifier for that precise mental signature. When you are done, immediately remove the stone from your personal field. Wash it in cold running water, wrap it in a dark cloth, and place it in a separate, closed enclosure, away from your sleeping space. It is a powerful antenna. Do not let it remain active and picking up random frequencies while you are vulnerable or unfocused. Treat it with the same tactical respect you would treat any high-power operational hardware. There is no judgment in the laws of esoteric architecture, and there is no sentimentality in the gears of the mineral world. Rutilated quartz is not a gentle savior. It is an exquisite, potent, and high-integrity asset, a clean platform for the experienced user to amplify their personal authority and drive their intent into the world with profound clarity and speed. For the ungrounded and the fearful, it is an energetic death trap that will only amplify their internal chaos. Ultimate power in reality management does not come from looking for magical artifacts to protect you. It comes from having absolute psychological honesty, unwavering willpower, and the cold, structured capability to manage your own vibrations without compromise. Rutilated quartz is a premier tool for the sovereign mind that has already conquered itself. If you are not there yet, then build your foundation. Stop treating the complex technology of nature like a cheap parlor trick. Review our sequential blueprint on @esoteric.architect again. Every video is non-severable. Your understanding must be integrated. Share this video with an independent thinker who is tired of New Age sentimentality. Repost this broadcast to your networks. Drop your deepest analysis in the comments below, and make sure your subscription is finalized. Build your internal sovereignty, clean up your broadcast signal, and I will see you in our next deep architectural audit. Stay sharp.